We were waiting. Let's just talk about it.
You've seen him leave the body there for a couple days, though.
My daddy's ass died. We had to wait I think a week, and they were saying that you might want to get a move on this. Basically, talking about how we couldn't even do an open casket anymore. So
I like how they rushed you along. Like, you might want to bury this guy. He's been dead.
That was probably a nicer way, but I remember my brother telling me the story. They're like, "Yes, you better figure this out." Dad is dead. His bones, he ain't gonna look no better. So,
and welcome to episode 208 of the Working Fans Podcast. You thought this was a SummerSlam preview, but there have been so many deaths in not only wrestling, pop culture, but apparently AJ Strangebrew's family 2 seasons ago. But they are having the funeral today, so AJ cannot be with you. He is going to be here next week because, as we've talked about on the show, AJ was trained by former wrestler Adrian Street, who I think they have him in the ground by now. But if not, he is soon to be. AJ's wife's godmother's on her way, so AJ can't be here for that today. But he will address Adrian Street, Pee Wee Herman, maybe his wife's godmother next week. I'm going to be away in the woods of Maine. Happy to get away for a couple days, but what we are not getting away from is SummerSlam in Detroit. Or actually, Dave might be getting away from it because he is not going to be able to watch this card live.
I will not. No spoilers for any fucks out there that know me. I will be out with some friends, taking the family out, and then I have a lovely dinner date and a clean comedy show, a night of clean comedy at Mystic Cinemas. I don't remember the acts, but it's $25 a ticket, and they looked funny enough, so we'll see how it goes. So
I've got nothing going on, so I might just order 2 pizzas and watch this shit by myself. So, yeah. Dave, are you pulling up the card? Because
I already have it.
I'm excited for SummerSlam, but I don't know if I'm up to date on like all the feuds or like. I'm not super familiar with the card, but SummerSlam's a big enough event, outdoor arena. How could I not watch it?
You'll know some of this card. I will say this. I thought it was ironic this week. I was watching some of the video previews on Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, and just in the post, they put that one over high and how good that was. But even the Brock and Cody one, they did one of those, and I thought to myself, wow, this is giving me NXT vibes. Remember how they'd have those countdown NXT specials before one of the big takeover events sometimes? And they would
really kind of getting you into the feuds, catching you up.
Right. Do like these video previews and stuff like that, those countdown specials. And I thought it was ironic because I thought, Triple H has been pretty hands-on, but I thought, man, this doesn't seem like Vince would have anything to do. This does not feel like his style, per se. And then all that stuff came out about Vince this week with the subpoenas and also having the untimely spinal surgery. And this man will be away for a little bit. So I thought that was interesting because
of super timely.
It might be super timely, yes. Vince has a way of taking leave of absences when stuff goes down. I don't know, but
hey, neck surgery during the last big scandal, or one of the last big scandals.
Yeah, not the last one. That one was long, but man, let's get to this card.
Before we jump into this card, if I get a phone call about my truck at any point, I will be jumping out and Dave will be surprised handling that by himself, but he'll find out in the moment. So, Dave, what's the first match you got lined up?
All right, I'm going in reverse here. Slim Jim Battle Royal, because this is the only one I don't really know about too much, like who's in. Participants so far: LA Knight, Sheamus, Ciampa, Nakamura, Otis, and Chad Gable. I'm just going to say, based on that lineup and all the momentum going on, I say LA Knight is going to win this Battle Royal.
It would be a shame if he didn't, because it's almost like it's his SummerSlam match, the way that I've seen it framed on TV. Plus, he's just so over right now and getting such like a swell of support around him that I would be very surprised if he does not win this.
Yeah, I think Sheamus might beat him tonight. It's going to piss fans off because they had a little interaction last week on SmackDown. Talked about momentum for the Battle Royal. But my guess is LA Knight will probably last eliminate him winning the Battle Royal. That's what I think they'll do.
Yep.
Then we have the match I told you that was really built up well this past weekend. It took a little late for them to get there, but we got there. Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, MMA rules match, and with all the talk about Rousey leaving.
Oh, wow. I didn't know they made it MMA rules.
They did, which I think this match, I expect this match to deliver, honestly. I think this will be a very interesting match. And with Rousey leaving, and would we know behind the scenes she loves Shayna, I expect Shayna to go over huge here and look impressive.
I think that stipulation helps the match a lot because the match in itself is interesting. I'm interested to see it, but I feel like MMA rules just gives it that little different place on the card, gives you that little extra. And I think, yeah, with Ronda leaving, it's got to be Shayna, right?
Got to be Shayna, and if anybody's going to have, Ronda's matches have been hit or miss, but if anyone's going to have a great match with Ronda, it's going to be Shayna, and then you tie in the MMA rules aspect of this. These two should bring out the best of each other, I would think.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And if this match disappoints, then something fell apart.
Yeah, and Ronda's on her way out, so it's whatever, All right, this match, I would have a hard time believing that this will disappoint. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre, WWE Intercontinental Champion. Gunther is being now billed as the longest Intercontinental Champion in this century. He is, I believe, a month or 40 days away from surpassing Honky Tonk Man as the longest. So for that reason, I think he'll continue his reign. Drew might be the guy to eventually take it from him, but I don't think he'll be yet. I think we're going all the way with this Gunther title reign.
Yeah, if it wasn't so close and they hadn't built him up so big, I would say this would be the place for Drew to take that title. But they've done such a good job with Gunther that how do you not give him the longest reign? And for that reason, it's got to be Gunther. It's going to be a hell of a match. They're going to beat the hell out of each other. You're going to see a lot of bloody chests.
What I like about this card so far is we've had a little something different. You have a battle royal, an MMA rules match. We're going to have a hard hitting throwback match. And then the next match is Ricochet versus Logan Paul. This has got to be a crazy spot fest type match. And it's actually the
celebrity match.
It's a celebrity match. It's the best match Ricochet's ever been involved, like the highest hype match he's ever been involved in. He's been getting big segments on Raw with Logan. He got left laying this week, which would make you think Ricochet would pull the victory off. But I can't see Logan losing to Ricochet. Like, they might have him in there, lose to Roman. He might be part of the Money in the Bank, but I think this is where he's going to get a win, and we're going to build up Logan Paul for something else.
All right, so a little off topic, but this weekend, both Paul brothers are in action. What are the Paul brothers going to go? What's their record going to be? Are they going to go 1-1? Are they both going to win? Are they both going to lose?
So my heart would like to see them go 0-2 because I like Ricochet and I'd love for Nate Diaz to pull off the victory. But since Nate doesn't just box and he's older, my guess is Jake Paul will pull it off. So I'm going to say both Paul brothers will go 2-0.
What's going on, Randy? You missed at the beginning. AJ had a few deaths in his life. He's not only broken up about AJ and Street, he is worried sick about his wife's godmother who died 6 months ago and they're burying her today, and Pee Wee Herman. So tune in next week. You're going to hear all from AJ. Today, it's just me and Dave giving you these previews, and I like that Paul preview. I don't see Ricochet winning this. I would love for him to.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Logan, and same thing. I don't know. I see Nate Diaz winning.
I hope so. If Nate's going to win it, I'll throw this little caveat out there. It's going to be later in the fight. It'll be like between round 6 and round 8. It's an 8-round fight, and Nate will start to really pour it on because Nate is a cardio machine and a volume puncher. And if Jake does not pull him out early and Jake gasses, it could be a long night for Jake. But Jake has power. He's bigger. He's younger. He has more experience than just boxing. So, unfortunately, I'm going to say at Jake right now, but we'll see. That's right, Randy. We're giving you combat predictions on this show. Shout out to AJ. We wish him the best. But yes, we're getting combat sports predictions this week. Check out the Combat Cast from last Tuesday, where we review UFC 291 and the main event and co-main event of this week's Fight Night card. And after that, let's just go into our next match here. Ricochet, I just did that one. Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Now, Judgment Day has been crushing it lately. You got Dominic Mysterio with the North American title. You got Damian Priest, who has the Money in the Bank contract. Rhea Ripley is on NXT with Dom. She's on SmackDown. She's on Raw. She's everywhere. She's totally the most dominant female in WWE right now. And in this matchup, Finn has just been crushing it on the mic. He looks great. And I'd love to see Finn Balor pull it off. That being said, I just don't think they're going to do it. I think Seth Rollins is being built here. He's the guy. And again, this is kind of almost like how I feel about the Paul brothers. Like, I'd like to see, it's nothing against Seth per se, but I'd like to see him lose here. But I just feel like they'll put Seth over and he'll keep the title.
Yeah, because it seems like too early for, say, maybe Finn to win the title and then have Priest cash in and go for it. That would be like the high drama of it. But I do see Rollins retaining. And the one thing we didn't talk about is there is a Collision this weekend as well. I wonder how Collision's going to do going up against SummerSlam, being that it's one of the bigger events.
Yeah, you got that, and you got people tuning in for the Diaz Jake Paul fight too. It's not a great. I mean, they have a good match. They got CM Punk defending what he calls the Real World's Championship against Ricky Starks with special referee. Joe, I don't know if you knew this. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yeah, I heard there was a little confusion on post-send, but I swear that Punk announced that on Friday. That he said that he had Ricky Steamboat in.
Oh, maybe. I just knew it part of the show last week when we were watching. But yeah.
Yep. Getting
to
to
watch that together.
Yeah, getting to another one of Randy's questions. Does Io Sky cash in?
So let's preview that
coming up on our next match.
It is. That we'll preview that match right now. Asuka versus Charlotte versus Bianca. And I'll tell you what, I think Asuka's going to win this. And then to answer Randy's question, yes, I think Io Sky is going to cash in. Because as I look up and down this lineup, and this is a spoiler for my other prediction, I don't think we're going to see a lot of title changes. And I think at SummerSlam, you want to at least have a championship, something happen. So I say Io Sky cashes in on Asuka.
All right. I see Bianca winning that.
Okay.
Now, Randy, another big question here. Does Starks beat Punk? And that is a no.
No, not yet. No, Punk is going to end up headlining All Out in Chicago, I'd imagine. And I'm guessing he'll be defending his version of the world title and going for the other world title in some kind of unification match against MJF, most likely. But we'll say dark horse chance Adam Cole.
Yeah, because they've got that match at All In England, right, which is what, the week before?
Right. Yeah. So something's going to give, which we'll work out on how we're going to purchase all this stuff, by the way. I'll get one. You get one if you want. But
oh, yeah. We'll figure this out. We got a lot of pay-per-views coming up at the end of the month.
We sure do. Now, 2 matches left here, folks. Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. I've enjoyed this feud. I feel that Brock has been selling for Cody in a really good way, and they both love working with each other. I think it shows here. It's got an old school feel. Cody comes off like such a white meat baby face when he's working with Brock, and I'm excited for this, but I say Brock is they're going to beat down Cody. They're going to make him work for it. We're going to continue to build sympathy on him, but Cody's going to come out of here with the victory. I think ideally he should bleed a little bit. I don't know if WWE will let him. I know it's happened before, but not always. But he should get some color, and he should pull off this victory. Either way, Cody has to go over here.
Yeah, he is just barely going to get the win. He will get the win, but it's going to be an uphill battle for him. Like, I don't know if you could really beat him the same week that his, documentary goes out, where it went out everywhere. And he's been so big once again in the WWE talking points that, yeah, it's got to be Cody. Now, Randy missed our pick from earlier. Ronda does not win.
Nope.
We see her as taking time off of WWE after this, so it's going to be a nice win for Shayna.
No doubt. And
will it be a no DQ match between Cody and Brock? Is he asking?
Yeah. They haven't announced it. There was all that talk about a special stipulation. Nothing's been announced yet. So as of right now, I'm picking Cody in a straight up match.
Yeah, I don't see them going because you've got your main event, which we got coming up next, is already a no DQ type situation.
It's a tribal rules match, right? Is that how they
tribal
combat match? That's right. Tribal combat match. So, man, I believe Cody Rhodes was going to win this title at WrestleMania. I did not think Sammy was going to win it, but I thought he had a possibility. I thought Drew had a really good chance back at the Castle, when we first started these hometown advantages and these stories. Roman is just being built. I got to believe he's not going to drop this title to WrestleMania 40. But that being said, if you were going to do it, this is the best friggin' story you could tell. Jey Uso in the family. 3 years ago, these guys were wrestling. This feud, this storyline has been going for 3 years. It's unheard of. It's gotten so built up that people actually popped over a tag team win, which that used to mean nothing. But now it meant something because of Roman's credibility for how strong the character is and how well the WWE has portrayed him. So, that being said, I'm picking Roman. But man, if you want to shake some things up, Bill Apter had this theory. Jey Uso wins, and then Damian Priest cash on Jey Uso afterwards. And man, wouldn't that be something if Seth Rollins ended up actually, even though we didn't pick it, still not, was the WWE champion on Raw. Damian Priest had the title on SmackDown. Dom had the title on NXT. And Ripley was the WWE Women's Champion. Like, they could be on every show, and this would be the hottest group. You would have made this faction unbelievably strong.
I really like that pick. I see Roman winning it, sure, but I like that. I like if that scenario played out because it's more interesting and I'd like to see Roman go longer with the title.
Me too.
But that's also
that
just
storyline. Yeah. You're basically trading in the hottest group, the Bloodline, after you've got all this out of it, and you can basically make the new hottest group all in one night.
Yeah, because like you said, our mid-year-ish awards, the Bloodline were your pick for the mid-years because it's most likely not going to be the pick at the end of the year because they're done now. They're kind of going in their own directions, and it seems like Judgment Day is just getting more steam behind them, and this could be the big break.
Absolutely. I'm gonna just throw something out here real quick before we get out of here this week. ESPN did a top 10 wrestlers under 30 this week, the Hey Mouth thing. Number 1, MJF. Number 2, Rhea Ripley. We're talking about here. 3, Austin Theory, Belkingo. Number 4, number 5, Dominic Cruz. That's 2 members of Judgment Day we're talking about right there. And number 6, Braun Breaker.
Dominic Mysterio?
Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, did I say something else?
Dominic Cruz.
Oh, yeah, not Dominic.
Dominic Cruz. We got MMA fighters in here.
Yeah, he's not under 30 either. Yeah, Dominic Mysterio, numbers 5. So Rhea Ripley, Dominic Mysterio are in the top 5 of ESPN's top 30 wrestlers under 30. So, yeah, we'll throw a couple other names. The rest of the list here is Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Takeshita, Liv Morgan, and Logan Paul. That rounds up your top 10. But again, Judgment Day is already a hot group. You could take this to the next level if you wanted.
Well, I'm going to throw one last thing I saw at you because it has the source as being the Wrestler Observer Network. SmackDown is looking for a new home after Fox reportedly declined WWE's latest asking price. WWE has in mind a 50% increase in TV rights. for a total of $700 million between Raw and SmackDown. Fox has apparently rebuffed that price as they were already currently losing money on the deal, with advertisers unwilling to pay enough for the Friday night time slot, according to Fox's own studies. That is from the Pro Wrestling World page on Facebook. The source is Wrestler Observer Network. I don't know if I find that true, but it's an interesting tidbit. But you know where I did not read that tidbit? In Wrestleville.
Read about the Northern Wrestling Federation in the book presented by Wrestleville.com, The Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 2. Hear the story of Roger Ruffin, the man who trained Carl Anderson, the Monster Abyss, Jordan Clearwater, Chris Harris, and Jillian Hall.
Plus 45 other short stories including Jazz, Bobby Eaton, Kamala, Thunder Rosa, Mario Mancini, Scott Casey, PJ Black, Kerry Morton, Sal Renaro, Jeremiah Plunkett, Colby Carino, Bam Bam Malone, and many others.
Get your book today at Wrestleville.com. Wrestleville. It's where wrestling lives.